What brings us all together, and I know brings you here, is a belief that a strong America is based on a strong commitment to human rights. And a strong America that speaks out for those values is extremely important. So we'd be honored if perhaps you had a few words.
Well, thank you for gathering here, and thank you for all you do to promote tolerance and religious freedom and human rights around the world. Well, this is for Rabbi Schneier on the 50th anniversary of the Appeal of Conscience Foundation. This is incredible. What a great feat. Thank you for all your work. I'm pleased to present this and feel honored to do so.
It is a privilege to be here to celebrate with all of you. The rabbi is not only a New York leader, he is a world leader. He is someone we look up to for guidance of conscience, for guidance of spirituality, for guidance of goodness. You are someone who surely places the bar very high for all other world religious leaders, and I'm personally very grateful for all you've done for New York and for our community and worldwide. I think the rabbi's advocacy has been extraordinary over his life. I think he has been able to elevate the discussion so that all leaders should care so deeply about religious freedom, about human rights, and about civil rights. He is someone who speaks passionately and has a vision for goodness and fairness throughout the world. He is a fighter against discrimination, a fighter against hatred. He is someone who cares how all are treated, and I am so lucky to consider him a friend, a mentor, and a great role model for all of us. Thank you, Rabbi, for letting me be here to celebrate.
The idea that we should speak out when there is injustice in this world is a big part, it seems to me, of why we celebrate Rabbi Schneier, 50 years of the Appeal of Conscience Foundation, but all of you for your commitment to this great work. So as I say, it's only in America, perhaps, but it's only Rabbi Schneier. And so, sir, we honor you. We thank you very much.
Lord, you know the stories of Arthur going into Moscow and seeing the refuseniks and embracing them. And you know the story of Arthur in China, trying to make sure that the tremendous Jewish history of that country wasn't lost. You know the story of Arthur in the Middle East, time after time after time, working for peace, working for conscience freedom.
It is a pleasure to have the chance to join you in this celebration. Rabbi Schneier, congratulations, happy birthday. Thank you for your leadership. And thank you to everyone in this room for speaking out for tolerance, for speaking out for truth, and for speaking out for religious liberty. We are living in a time in the world where the persecution of people for their faith is only growing.
Your example and courage is very much an inspiration to every one of us. And you have really demonstrated that one person can make a huge difference. You could have turned away from civilization, which you lived through. But instead, you turned it around to reach out and make the world a better place to live. So we're all just very proud to be in your company. We're proud to be able to celebrate with you. But the best gift we can give you on this special birthday is our commitment to fight alongside of you for a better world, a world in which we respect each other.
I am honored to be here and honor Rabbi Arthur Schneier for all his work over the last 85 years. I think he and I may have a little something in common. I'm Scandinavian in my heritage. My grandfather immigrated from Sweden, and Raoul Wallenberg was one of the great heroes of the Swedish people who went into Hungary and saved 100,000 Jews in World War II. I had the privilege of presenting the Congressional Gold Medal to his family in the Swedish Parliament 2 years ago. So as human beings, we all are brothers, think through faith we can do anything regardless of our religion, but our commitment to God, and I appreciate very much what Arthur has done all these years.
It says in our Talmud that 80 is the age of real strength. And it says the span of a life is 70. If you live to 80, it's a sign of strength. And I was asking this friend of mine, it was his birthday, and I said, give me a blessing, please, that when I will be your age, I should have your energy level. And he says, I give you the blessing. I said, you know what, amend that. I would like to have your energy level at my age. And I think that having watched Rabbi Schneier navigate, not only his synagogue and the Jewish community of New York, and well beyond around the world, but the influence that stems from New York, but also the diplomatic community and the international community.
Rabbi Schneier, I wish you many, many more years as a great leader, bringing religious freedom to peoples and nations. May God continue blessing you.
Dorothy and Patty Ann Drinker and I all had the great honor of working directly for Lyndon Baines Johnson, who would come into this room, which was just the way it is now, even when he was President of the United States, before he made his State of the Union addresses and things like that. And he said one day, I can remember him because he wrote it in the State of the Union speech about the fact that great men can reason together. Well, it's my honor to say here is the greatest man I have ever known. He can reason together with all of us anywhere in the world, and everybody always responds.
The Appeal of Conscience Foundation is a special group, and I am embarrassed to be disrupting you. I was just coming to sneak through to congratulate the rabbi on the 50th anniversary of the foundation and the 85th birthday celebration. And it says somewhere in the Talmud that when the people were crowded in the temple, they were standing, but once they prostrated themselves and got down on the ground and laid down, somehow it became roomier. I don't know how that's scientifically possible, but I feel like it's a picture for us today when everybody only wants to talk about the things they stand for individually, and this is a building filled with giant egos of people who want to tell you all that they stand for individually. When people are willing to bow a little bit and pay less attention to themselves and be a little bit lower ego, it turns out there's more room for everyone, and it feels that way in this room today with all the folks.
Thanks a lot for the example of Rabbi Arthur Schneier, for your example in promoting everywhere with so large contact that you were able to establish during your life, together with many friends, this value of the religious freedom, of the freedom of the conscience.
We cannot change the past. We're locked in. We have to live with the present. But we can shape the future for our children and children's children. And that really is my prayerful wish, that my wife Elizabeth and I should see our children, Karen and Mark and their children live in peace and not face the threat, the daily threat that this generation has to encounter. Yes, we have to work for it, but every tyranny comes to an end. Every conflict comes to an end. But we have to do something about it. And I'm glad to see, by the way, I don't know whether you heard about it, that Ban Ki-moon, the Secretary General, is convening in April, end of April, with our cooperation, a gathering of top religious leaders to stand together against those who abuse and misuse religion. So again, the signature. The crime perpetrated in the name of religion is the greatest crime against religion, and let us all pray that we will live in a world of live and let live. Thank you. God bless you all. Thank you.